ẹ sọ kíní kan fún mi. ẹlẹ́yìn ò ní ṣòwò méjì kẹran mọ́jẹ̀ kan. àti pé jack of all trade lọ́pọ̀ ọ̀gbà máa jẹ́ master of none. èmi ò wá fẹ́ jẹ́ master of none, mo fẹ́ jẹ́ master of all. so àwọn nǹkan tí mo kó dání pọ̀ díẹ̀. kò dẹ̀ sí fún nǹkan méjì bí kì í ṣe fún ìgbélárugẹ èdè àti àṣà ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire. so ìyẹn ni mo sọ wípé ẹ forí jẹ mí ẹ gbà mí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni àkókò tí n bá ti ń wá ìyẹn sáà kàn máa ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn tó gbópọn fún mi yóò máa jẹ́ kóríyá fún mi láti wá lóòrèkóòrè. mo kí nínú ilé ìpínlẹ̀ ilẹ̀ kan sí ìbànújẹ́ oníkan ibi oníkan yín wàhálà àti dààmú ó kéré ọ̀pọ̀ kò ní dé sàkánì yín. àkàndọ̀rọ̀ Awikonko ló kọ́ mi fẹ́ni tó ẹ̀sẹ̀ ń rí mi tàbí wò mí fún ìgbà àkọ́kọ́. àjàó àrò ni mí Awikonko aṣọ lójú ọlọ́rọ̀. màmá gbé bọ́lọ́rọ̀ bá gbọ́ kí bàbá ńlá bàbá ọlọ́rọ̀ ó ṣe ẹ̀kẹ́ ni mi ò máa dún fọ́tìlẹ̀ gbẹ̀ngbẹ̀. bẹ́ẹ̀ bá rí àkọọ́lẹ̀ àbí àkọọ́lẹ̀ tí mo sọ.
ẹ jẹ́ ká mẹ́rin ń gba yín lórí fídíò tó ṣe pé ẹ fẹ́ wò yìí torí pé ìgbọ̀wọ́ tí òun ni
àkọlé ọ̀hún pé
gbogbo ohun tẹ́yìn bá ń ṣe fún wa.
gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun Dẹ́mọ́lá Adélékè sí àkíyèsí nǹkan kan
láti lè máa jẹ̀gbádùn bó ṣe lọ káàkiri.
àkíyèsí kan ni
lórí ètò wa lónìí Yorùbá Àtàṣà ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ túkọ̀ ètò yìí torí pé gbọ́ wèrèwèrè ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ lọ.
lórí ọ̀rọ̀ apẹ̀tùmọ̀dù tìlú ìpẹ̀tùmọ̀dù ọba Joseph Kolawole Olóyèdé àti Olúwo tilẹ̀ Ìwó kí ni similarity kí lọ́jọ́ ohun tá a fẹ́ fi wé ohun. ǹjẹ́ mi gan-an ni mo sọ̀rọ̀ ohun àbẹ́lòmíì ọ̀rọ̀ pọ̀ nù ìwé kọ́bọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ sì ń bẹ ní kóníláyà sókè ẹ̀ ń bá lọ̀rọ̀ ńlọ́làlàyé mo kí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i àpilẹ̀kọ kan ni mo mú wá tó tú ọ̀pọ̀ àṣírí nípa ọba kan tẹ́ ẹ ti mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ bí ẹ mọ owó ẹ bá ń táàgì àwọn ọmọ wo ẹ bá ń táàgì àwọn ọmọ ìpẹ̀tùmọ̀dù wíwá tí mo wá lónìí kì í ṣe láti wá defend ẹnì kankan tàbí láti wá tako ẹnì kankan ṣùgbọ́n láti wá sọ wípé òfin tó mẹ́lẹ́hà ó yẹ kó méégún òfin tó méégún ó yẹ kó mẹ́lẹ́hà ló bá jẹ́ wípé a bá fẹ́ ṣe níṣe bó ṣe yẹ ká ṣe tá a fẹ́ fi gbá kan bọ̀ kan nú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni so kí làpilẹ̀kọ ọ̀hún ẹ dákun ẹ̀yin ìyá àti bàbá mi ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ bá mi share program yẹn bó ti wò kó jẹ́ pé àwa tá a wà lórí ìtàkùn ayélujára lọ́wọ́ báyìí ká ti máa sùn tó àṣà ìní rí àwọn èèyàn tí wọn ò tí ì sùn lọ tí ó sì wù wọ́n láti gbọ́ nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ tàbí wo nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe ṣé ẹ gbàgbé ìfẹ́ là ń tẹ̀ mú Jọládé báwọn kan bá ti rí notification mi wá ní òun dẹ̀ ń kùn mí Awikonko sì fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ jẹ́ ń farabalẹ̀ gbọ́ nǹkan tó fẹ́ sọ kí n tó lọ sùn ìfẹ́ ni mímọ̀ ṣe kọ́ àti ìgbàgbọ́ nínú ẹni bóyá ọ̀gbẹ́ni yá máa sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ kì í pajá lọ́bọ̀ bó bá ṣe rí ni ó ṣe wí bó bá ṣe wí ni ló ṣe jẹ́ náà o èmi náà rí àpilẹ̀kọ yẹn ni ta lọ́kọ́ ẹ̀rọ mi ò gbọ́n kọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tó kónú pọ̀ gan-an o ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ kí bàbá mi His Imperial Majesty Ọọ̀ni Adéyẹyẹ Ìtàngóòsè fún ti oríire ìbejì làǹtìlanti tọ́lọ́run bá fi ta wọ́n lọ́rẹ pẹ̀lú olórí Mariam kọ́lọ́run jẹ́ ká gbé àwọn ọmọ náà pẹ́ àwọn ọmọ náà ó lọ́wọ́ lẹ́yìn lágbára Ọlọ́run ọmọ yọ̀yọ̀yọ̀ nílé aládì ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ gbódò kọ́ yàgàn ewé abíwẹ́rẹ́ kọ́lọ́run bá wa já fún àwọn olórí lágbára ọlọ́run orí ìtẹ́ ò ní gbóná mọ́ ẹ̀ o láṣẹ Èdùmàrè His Imperial Majesty Ọọ̀ni Adéyẹyè Ẹnìtàn Ògúnwùsì Ọ̀jájá tó fìdí ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ̀ jánlẹ̀ kọ́lọ́run wà pẹ̀lú yín kábíyèsí. Alright, ẹni tó kọ àpilẹ̀kọ ọ̀hún Túndé Ọdẹ́ṣọlá ni a máa kọ nǹkan sí inú ìwé Punch nílò kan tí wọ́n ń kọ sínú Punch náà o ń bọ̀ o. ẹ bá mi share program yẹn jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run ẹ dákun ẹ dákun ẹ dákun ẹ dákun ẹ bá mi share ẹ. ẹ dákun ẹ bá ń share program yẹn àwọn èèyàn mi ò tí ì pọ̀ púpọ̀ lórí program yẹn okay. ẹ mọ̀ bìnrin adákọ̀ ẹ bá mi share program yẹn ẹ bá ń like ok Túndé Ọdẹ́ṣọlá òun ló ń ṣe hunters whistle nínú ìwé ìròyìn The Punch. So as far as I'm concerned, to the best of my understanding, Túndé Ọdẹ́ṣọlá gbọ́dọ̀ rí kó tó sọ torí kéèyàn tó post nǹkan sínú ìwé ìròyìn Punch òun tó ń gbọ́dọ̀ ti rí àrídájú ìròyìn tó fẹ́ sọ nípa rẹ̀. So náà òkè máa ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá òpó kiri ilé olóró àkọlé tó fún òun náà ni Adeleke, crime cannot dethrone Apetu and enthrone Oluwo. Oluwo must go. Túndé Ọdẹ́ṣọlá in April 2025. Whoa, aware of shame on the Apetu of Ipetumodu. Ọba Joseph Olugbenga Oloyede in faraway United States when he was indicted in a multi-million-dollar fraud case. Sorry o. Ẹ dákun ẹ bá mi share program yẹn jọ̀ọ́ mi ní wáyé tí o. Ẹ bá ń táàgì àwọn ọmọ Ìpẹ̀tù. Ẹ sì bá mi táàgì àwọn ọmọ Ìwó. Yes. Ó kà àwọn ọmọ Ìpẹ̀tù náà. Ẹ bá ń táàgì wọn. Ẹ bá ń táàgì wọn. Ẹ bá ń tẹ love àti like. Ẹ bá ń tẹ love àti like. God bless you sir, God bless you sir, God bless you ma. Okay, we will do so. God bless you mi ní wáyé. Love like. Ẹ bá ń táàgì Olúwo. Ẹ bá ń táàgì àwọn ọmọ Ìwó. Ẹ bá ń táàgì àwọn ọmọ Ìpẹ̀tù. Ẹ má bínú. Ẹ má bínú. Okay. ó yẹ bá àwọn wọlé padà lórí YouTube ẹ dákun tẹ bá mi ṣe àyè wọn bá bí mo ra jáde díẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn sì ti jáde ẹjá dúró dè wọn padà wọn sáré wọlé nísìn ok wọn tún wọlé padà. God bless you sir, God bless you ma mi ní wáyé tí o ok back to business àwọn tó kú ọmọ wọlé bá wa ń bẹ̀. Adeleke, crime cannot dethrone Akpetu and enthrone Oluwo. Oluwo must go. Tunde Odesola in April 2025. Whoa, aware of shame on the Akpetu of Ikpetumodu. Oba Joseph Olugbenga Oloyede in faraway United States when he was indicted in a multi-million-dollar fraud case. Before his arrest and indictment, Oloyede, like the tail of the squirrel, switched his royal horse tail as he ate some American banana, enveloped in the sweetness of the ripe banana. Oloyede unknowingly stepped on the tail of a coiled cobra by the banana tree, tragically setting off the trigger. Blind to crime, deaf to creed, dumb to pedigree. The American legal system, silent but watchful, snapped by its jaws slamming shut on Oloyede's neck in a brutal metallic bite. He said, and I quote, "Ikun jọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀, ikun rèdí, ikun ò mọ̀ wípé ohun tó dùn máa ń pani." Fast forward to August 26, 2025. Nigeria cyberspace confused with a screaming headline: Osun monarch jailed 4 years in US for $4.2 million COVID-19 fraud. The report published in The Punch was shocking. It was shocking to those who mistake the inevitable for surprise. Like the case of a foolish husband running skater for financial help to buy baby care products when his wife gave birth after a 9-month pregnancy. Anyone who had followed the story since April knew that the August sentencing was a punitive arrow hitting the bull's eye. By then, the concrete mix of juice poured in April has simply solidified by August. Nti Tunde Odesola ń gbìyànjú àti sọ́nbẹ̀rẹ̀ ni pé nínú oṣù kẹrin ọdún 2025 kábíyèsí ìlú wa ọba Olóyèdé Joseph Ọlátìmógún the first ó ní ikún rẹ̀ ń jọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ òun rèdí ikú ọmọ pé n tó dùn ún pa ni pé unfortunately kábíyèsí ọmọ wípé ètò ìdájọ́ òkè òkun tàbí torílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà kò dàbí ti Nàìjíríà tá a fọwọ́ yẹpẹrẹ mú wẹ́rẹ́dẹ̀wẹ́rẹ́ pé wọ́n mú kábíyèsí ok ṣùgbọ́n August ni wọ́n tó dájọ́ ìgbà tí wọ́n dájọ́ àwọn kan wá ń yà wọ́n lẹ́nu pé irú ìdájọ́ wo leléyìí ó ní bí èèyàn bá fọ́ lójú tí ọ̀dẹ̀ dí létí ó yẹ kó mọ̀ pé ṣẹlẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú oṣù kẹrin ìdájọ́ tí ó mú wá náà ló mú wá ní inú oṣù kẹjọ kò sí ní tó yẹ kó yà yẹn lẹ́nu bẹ́ẹ̀. You need no kalukalu prophets or roadside imams or sakamanje babalawos to foresee the gathering storm about to sweep off the Akpetu throne. In America, justice is cheetah fast. In Nigeria, justice is snail slow. Oloyede mistook America for Nigeria and ended up in the belly of justice. What did Alayiluwo Oloyede steal? Kí ni kábíyèsí gbé gan? Oloyede looted COVID-19 emergency fund created for struggling businesses conspiring with one other criminal, Edward Oluwasanmi, to submit fraudulent applications for loans which were made available through the U.S. Small Business Administration under the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. In April, the Igbakeji Orisha pleaded guilty to wire fraud and tax fraud charges linked to a pandemic relief scam. which siphoned over $4.2 million $4.2 million stimulus funds. Colleagues and town people thought that the akara the Oriade was eating his pap with was tucked under the leaves and wrapping the akara. No one suspected that the king was using a sickle to reach I3 branches outside his arm's length. Ohun ọwọ́ mi ò tó, màá fi gọ̀ǹgọ̀ fà á. Before the enthronement as the Akpetumodu of Ikpetumodu in 2019, Oloyede, a chartered accountant and tax consultant, had worked with First Bank and lead merchant bank in Nigeria and relocated to the US in the late 1990s. In the US, he served as an adjunct professor at Indiana Wesleyan University and the University of Phoenix. Then, one night, greed knocked on the door of his heart, entered and showed him COVID-19 emergency funds. As Joseph, the dreamer, resisted Potiphar's wife, Joseph Oloyede could not resist the pounded yam and egusi served by greed. Subsequently, Judge Christopher Boyko of the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Ohio sentenced him to 4 years and 8 months in prison, ordering him to pay $4.4 million as restitution and forfeit his Medina mansion on Fort Road, Ohio. After imprisonment, the 63-year-old Oloyede will serve 3 years of supervised release, which means he will not be able to travel outside the U.S. while on supervised release. And going by the tone of the current U.S. immigration policy, Oloyede, a naturalized U.S. citizen, is most likely to lose his American passport after serving his term. On August 26, 2025, the day Oloyede received 4 sets of orange-color prison uniforms at the Federal Correctional Institution, Equiton in Lisbon, Ohio, alongside basic undergarments, footwear, and bedding, I took to my Facebook account at Tunde Odeshola and predicted, expectedly, the Akpetu of Ikpetumodu, Oba Joseph Oloyede, will be dethroned. The Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdulrasheed Adewale Akanbi, should also be dethroned, because what is sauce for the goose should be sauce for the gander. Oluwo is an ex-convict in the U.S. He was slammed with 2 lifetime bans to never enter the U.S. Osun State Governor Asiwaju Ademola Adeleke, over to you. On Monday, May 11, 2026, worried by what was suspected to be a tactical delay by the Osun State government to keep the throne vacant till the return of Oloyede from prison, I called on 2 Okay. I called on 2 persons in Osun to put the issue in perspective. The first person I called was a respected friend and honorable son of Ikpetumodu. The second person I called, a top government official, was also So, sorry, I'm not being for me. The second person I called, a top government official, was also an esteemed friend, renowned for a large dose of wit and wisdom. At the end of our separate discussions, I told both of my friends that I was going to take the Adeleke government to the clearers in my column on Friday, May 15, 2026. The government official friend gave me reasons for the delay in announcing the dethronement of the Akpetu, citing legal and communal bottlenecks, adding that efforts were afoot to declare the throne vacant. My son of the soil friend thanked me for sending him out on the issue and wished me well in my writing endeavors. I also called a colleague who is close to both the Akwetu and the community. So the die was cast. I started to map out a mental graph of the article. Alas, a few hours after I discussed with the three personalities, the Osun State government announced the dethronement of Oloyede. My colleague sent the breaking story to me. Ha! Is this a joke? I ran a quick check, and it was true. The dethronement is true. Was it painful that the game was snatched from my jaws? No. Was I happy? Yes. I was happy that the Adeleke government did the right thing, though late, going by the threats by many indigents of Ikpetumodu, who have vowed not to vote for Adeleke in the governorship election coming up in 3 months. One is tempted to believe that the belated dethronement was a political stroke to gain the votes of the Ikpetumodu people. On the other hand, however, it took courage on the part of Adeleke to smash the calabash of a friend's royal house, risking political antagonism 3 months before a historic election. Let me quickly say something about that. Now, lóòótọ́ ni ìjọba Adémọ́lá Adélékè sọ wípé àwọn máa gbégbésẹ̀ lórí tróònù yẹn ńgbà tí àwọn olóyè pẹ̀lú àwọn ìdílé ọlọ́mọọba tí wọ́n ṣe press conference which I was part of. Lóòótọ́ làwọn kan halẹ̀ pé Ìpẹ̀tù ò ní dìbò f'Adélékè kíní kankankan, kálukú ń sọ̀rọ̀ on their own behalf. Nobody can speak on our behalf concerning election and voting. N ó dínà mọ́ lágbájá ibi apá rẹ̀ bá gùn mọ́ nípa pín sí. Adeleke declare throne vacant, kò declare throne vacant. Àwọn tí ó dìbò f'Adeleke náà ni ó dìbò fún, àwọn tí ò ní dìbò fún ò ní dìbò fún. So kì í ṣe pé bóyá torí pé ó declare throne vacant o, àbí kò tètè declare vacant, àbí kò ní declare vacant, àbí kò declare vacant o. Ọ̀rọ̀ Apẹ̀tùmọ̀dù ò jẹ́ mọ́ election rárá. Gbogbo àwọn tán forí gbálẹ̀ tán ń pé àwọn ò ní dìbò f'Adeleke, sáwọn nìkan ní Ìpẹ̀tù ni, sáwọn nìkan ni ó dìbò ni. Problem tán ní tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ náà ni, aggression wọn náà nìyẹn tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀. Wọ́n ti declare throne vacant nísìnyí. Kí ni ó wá ṣẹlẹ̀? Ẹnìkan padà jọba náà ni, at the end of the day ta náà ni ó jọba. Bóńtọ̀ ń bá wá jọba kí ni májíìkì tó ń tọ̀ wọ́n dánwò. So lórí ọ̀rọ̀ election, àwọn tí ó dìbò f'Adeleke ó dìbò fún Adeleke. Ọ̀rọ̀ Apẹ̀tùmọ̀dù ò dẹ̀ disturb vote Adeleke rárá láti bí síbẹ̀ yẹn. Lóòótọ́ àwọn olóṣèlú máa believe pé numbers is numbers. Àwọn táwọn bá lè support àwọn because n tó lóṣèlú ń wá òun náà nìbò. So that is it. In the spirit of equity and fairness, a Yoruba translated proverb says, the chieftaincy title that is due to the Iwo community will also be due to Ede. Oyè tó kan ará Ìwó ó ń bọ̀ wá kárẹ́ Ẹdẹ. Meanwhile, àwọn bàbá wa sọ pé oyè tó kan ará Awó ni pé ó ń bọ̀ wá kan ará Ẹdẹ, pé Awó ò jìnnà sí Ẹdẹ. Okay. On this note, I humbly call on Governor Ademola Adeleke to revisit the criminal cases of the Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdulrasheed Adewale Akanbi in the same United States of America, where he was jailed and deported, when the Englishman in his intelligence looked at the cases of Akwetu and Oluwo and said, what is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. The Yoruba man in his wisdom responded, kò sí bí ọ̀bọ ṣe ṣe orí tí náà kí o ṣe. Running a banner headline, Royal Exclusive, Harry and Coleman Nigeria King Oluwo twice deported from US, British tabloid. The Mail on Sunday, in its May 19, 2024 edition, splashed the picture of the Oluwo of Iwo and Prince Harry on its cover, calling Akanbi a criminal who wangled his way from being a fraudster to the royal stool of Iwo. The headline and story of the Mail on Sunday were less acidic than that of the Sun, another British tabloid, which screamed, and I quote, "Dodgy royal Nigeria king bracket Oluwo, who Harry called his in-law, is conman jailed and deported after trying to cash stolen £247,000 check with the rider." He said, and I quote, "The funky king was jailed 15 months in 1998. Now, n tí yẹn gbìyànjú àti sọ ni pé because ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ti ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin Olúwo àti Channel Chain rí, tí yẹn ń pè ní oníjìbìtì, tí yẹn ń pè ní fraudster tólúwo sọ wípé ṣebí ti credit card yẹn nìkan náà ni, ṣebí ti credit card yẹn nìkan náà ni. So now, according to credit card yẹn ò kì í ṣe ti bàbá àwo, bóyá jí ni, bóyá rí he ni, bóyá wọ́n fake ẹ̀ ni, bóyá wọ́n prepare ẹ̀ ni, something of such. Níbi tán sáà ti fẹ́ fi withdraw owó náà ti mú wọn, tán sì sọ wọ́n sẹ́wọ̀n lásìkò gbà náà. Mo ti lọ lórí program rèé, reporting a three-day visit of the 39-year-old Harry and his 42-year-old wife Meghan to Nigeria. The Sun reveals Akanbi had been deported twice from the US and banned twice for life from entering the US. The Sun story reads, and I quote, "But the Nigeria royal Oluwo is a convicted fraudster who was twice kicked out of America. He was allegedly first arrested in Boston in 1998 after he tried to cash a stolen check for £247,000 from the aviation company Boeing." Okay, ṣé wọ́n kọ́ ni sàn kọ́ ṣẹ́ẹ̀kì yẹn ni àbí wọ́n ti kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ àbóríyé wọ́n á fẹ́ lọ káàṣẹ́ láìsí pé ó ṣiṣẹ́ fún wọn. He said, and I quote, "Akanbi posed as a successful businessman called Joseph Pigot, but cops were alerted." Okay, àwọn bàbá náà ṣe wáyà fraud, wọ́n ṣe wáyà fraud ni, tẹ́ ń pè ní yahoo, wọ́n ṣe bí businessman, be successful businessman tó lówó lọ́wọ́ sí business and boom. Akanbi posed as a successful businessman called Joseph Pigot, but cops were alerted by a suspicious bank teller at Bank Boston. The conman Oluwo was also charged with forging a check for £59,000. Wọ́n tún forge check using the name Thomas Eying. He was also reportedly jailed for 15 months and deported to Nigeria in April 1999. He said, and I quote, "His £1,500 fine was waived because of an inability to pay." Wọ́n fine ẹ̀ ní £1,500. Bàbá ò rówó san, wọ́n sá àgbójú kó ń bẹ̀ pé ńgbà ìsèpá fẹ́ gbẹ̀mí ẹ̀ sájà fílẹ̀ ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Despite being banned from re-entering the US, he was then said to have been caught attempting to cross the border in March 2011. Mo ti fi léyìn náà ṣe program. Wọ́n tó tún mú ní bọ́dà wọn. Àti ní ọmọ wà lù wá mọ́. Dandan kú bẹ̀ ni, wòkòwò kó ṣe kú lé àlè. A ní ọmọ wọlé yín mọ́, o tó ní dandan o tún fẹ́ wá, wọ́n rí bí ẹ mọ́ bí ni. So, okay, in 2011, Akanbi was with his then wife, Rakia Saidu, and his young son, and claimed they were going to New York to shop. Facing the prospect of a maximum prison sentence of 20 years and a £197,000 fine, Akanbi pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to time served, deported and banned from the US for life a second time. Wọ́n bá ní láyé ẹ̀ kò gbọ́dọ̀ kò lè wọ US láéláé mọ́ tí ó fi dàgbà tí ó dògbó tí ó rí bí àgbáre. Anyone who believes Oluwo has a grain of integrity can get these stories by simply googling the headlines. Akanbi had kept mute despite my challenging him repeatedly to go to court to prove his integrity. I am not alone in calling the criminal Oluwo out. Some of his royal colleagues had dragged him before courts on accounts jẹ́ kí lè wálẹ̀ àwọn náà yóò full san. Okay. Jẹ́ kí lè wálẹ̀ ilé ti block yẹn. Jẹ́ kí lè ilé. So, okay, anyone who believes Oluwo has a grain of integrity can get these stories by simply Googling the headlines. Akanbi had kept mode, despite my challenging him repeatedly to go to court to prove his integrity. I am not alone in calling the criminal Oluwo out. Some of his royal colleagues had dragged him before courts on accounts of his fraudulent activities. In December 2016, the Oluwo of Iwoke, Oba Kadiri Adeoye, had dragged him before an Osogbo magistrate court, accusing him of forgery. In a 33-paragraph affidavit, Oba Adeoye deposed that Akanbi was unfit for the esteemed position of king. Akanbi's refusal to show up in court infuriated magistrate Olushola Aluko, who issued a bench warrant and said, and I quote, "I am baffled that the commissioner of police had not done his duty. I am also surprised by his claim that he was unaware of the bench warrant. This must be the joke of the century. I therefore order him, commissioner of police, to immediately arrest the respondent, Oluwo, and bring him to court on January 6, 2017. Aluko's order was sequel to another bench warrant made by an Iwo magistrate court headed by Mr. I. Omeshade against Oba Akanbi, who sent one of his chiefs and a letter of apology to Aluko's court on the following date of hearing, claiming he was indisposed. Also, the Agbowo of Ogbagba, Oba Dikrulai Akinropo, had dragged Akanbi before another Osogbo magistrate court, headed by Mr. Olusegun Ayelara, alleging that the Oluwo was unfit for the position of the king. This followed an alleged physical assault on the Agbowo by the Oluwo in 2020, but the Oluwo denied assaulting his colleagues. Bọ́bá deny ẹ̀sẹ̀ bí arójú ẹ̀sẹ̀ nígbà wà àwíà arójú ẹ̀sẹ̀ lójú Agbowo Ọ̀gbàgbà tójú fàyà ń jọ náà lọ́hùn. In June 2024, a leading anti-corruption and human rights group, Women and Environmental Development Agenda, called on Governor Adeleke to investigate Oluwo's alleged criminal records with a view of protecting the sanctity of the Iwo royal stool and the integrity of the Iwo community. He later signed by HEDA's chairman, Timo Kalori program Njoni Olariwaju Suraj, said it behoved the state government to raise a special panel to investigate the criminal allegations against Akanbi. In clear terms, HEDA said, and I quote, "Traditional rulers are custodians of their people's heritage and symbols of authority and respect. Traditional rulers must possess impeccable character and the above approach. Oluwo's continued stay on the throne has many far-reaching implications. One of them is the dangerous signals it sends to the younger generation. It queries the lesson our society teaches when standards shift according to influence. What morals are citizens expected to learn when the Lord dethrones the Akwetu and coddles the Oluwo, two monarchs whose conduct has been far from dignified? Young Nigerians already swim in the ocean of cynicism. They watch fraudsters becoming celebrities. They see conflicted public officials receiving traditional titles. They observe corrupt politicians welcomed into churches and mosques with front row seats and Thanksgiving ceremonies. They are confused by the invisible line separating heroes from villains. They are confused by felons who use religion as a tactic to gain public approval. The dethronement of Akanbi will elucidate and revalidate integrity over criminality in our society. In the days of yore, the throne feared disgrace more than death itself. That was why once a king became an albatross upon the land, chiefs quietly delivered a covered calabash to him. Bó bá ti ṣe nǹkan tí ó dá, àwọn ìjòyè ó sì gbégbá fún pé kó sígbà wàwò. A symbolic invitation to embrace honorable exit or death. Our forefathers understood a simple truth that seems lost on us today. A contaminated crown contaminates the kingdom. The spiritual effect of this enormous, only the deep can relate. Governor Adeleke, the Oluwo, is a disgrace to the Omoluabi ethos of the Osun people. His calabash needs to be broken. Oluwo must go. Well, to the best of my understanding, àwí tó ń wí asán kankan ò sí, tó ń dé ẹ̀dọ́ ẹ̀sọ́lá lọ́sọ̀ọ́ lọ́kọ́ ló ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Lára àwọn information tó fi ṣe, mo rántí pé mo ti fi sọ̀rọ̀ rí, ṣètò rí, tó sì jẹ́ wípé a sọ wípé kí ọba Adéwálé Àkànbí kí wọ́n jáde bọ́ bá jẹ́ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ló ṣe rí. Tí ó wà dẹ̀rù pé wọ́n lórí ọ̀fẹ́ àti jáde lẹ́yìn kí wọ́n máa ṣe fídíò pé àjẹkú láyé àwọn ọjà yí ọba kú ni. Àìtí ẹ̀ ń daṣọ àrán borí náà ni bó àbí ẹ̀ ń jalè lẹ́ẹ̀kan bó daṣọ àrán bo aṣọ olè náà lọ́ dàbúra. Àkàndọ̀rọ̀ Awikonko, like I said, n ò wá láti wá defend ẹnì kankan, n ò dẹ̀ wá láti wá antagonize ẹnì kankan. Àpilẹ̀kọ tí mo rí gédéǹgbé náà ni mo ka láwo gédéǹgbé. Mi wàá mọ̀ bóyá possibly bóyá mo lè ráwọn èèyàn kan tàbí méjì tí wọ́n lè ní lọ́kàn pé àwọn fẹ́ pè mí dá sí ètò yìí. +234 915 147 9599 +234 915 147 9599 tàbí +234 904 851 9362 +234 904 851 9362. ẹ jẹ́ n wo tí n bá rí pé méjì tàbí mẹ́ta péré gbà bí ó bá wá sí kí n máa lọ láyọ̀ àtàláfíà kí n rè fi bẹ́ẹ̀ kẹ́ lílẹ̀. Mr. Tunde Okoli. Hello sir.
Hello bàbá ọ̀gá.
Ó lágbára díẹ̀ o.
Chief Awikonko ààrẹ làákàyè ẹ̀kútàn.
God bless you baba. God bless you baba.
Ó ga jù.
Ó lágbára díẹ̀.
Bó bá èmi náà ní ta sí lórí nínú comment section pé His Royal Majesty Awegbo of Igbo Kingdom ọ̀rẹ́ Awikonko pàtàkì tí ń bẹ lájúlé ìwúlẹ̀ yẹ pẹ́ gbàbò tó yẹ lẹ́ni.
Kẹ́gbàbò ń tọ́sẹ̀lẹ̀ náà lásọ yìí.
Well, very good pé a ti rí àwọn tó ti gbèsè because it's long overdue to push that guy out of that place. Babala sacrilege ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Ìwó that saw a despicable human being of that kind of character is sitting on a very ancient and very important àpèrè nílẹ̀ Yorùbá bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Ìtìjú ni fún gbogbo àwa Yorùbá kò ṣe fún àwọn ọmọ Ìwó nìkan.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ibi kan tí mo jẹ́ pé kò fọ̀mọ́ odó náà tí àkókò lọ́wọ́ mo ti wá ojú máa ń gbà mí sí láàrin tí bá rántí pé kò pé irú ràṣídì ìjọba ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Léèyàn tó tiẹ̀ kò wọ́ tiẹ̀ rú. Ìwé ẹnìbọ̀ tó bá mú lẹ́rù ọ̀sẹ̀ ó yẹ kó tó jùlù pé irú pàdé òrìlé ó yẹ kó sọnù.
Wow.
C'est shame.
Ó lágbára sir.
C'est shame.
Ó lágbára sir.
C'est shame.
Yes sir.
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́.
Yes, but God bless you baba. Yes. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ọ̀rọ̀ kan yín o. Sile gbé gbèsè ń pa ilé yun náà. sẹ́ẹ̀ ní bẹ̀rù pé wọn ò ní dìbò fún yín ní wo sẹ́ẹ̀ lè yọ +2349151479599. Hello daddy. Hello sir. Hello sir. Ká lẹ́ sà o.
Ọjọ́ mẹ́ta.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Ọlọ́run á gbà fún so.
Àmín o.
Ọlọ́run á gbà fún. Ṣé rí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọba kọ̀ọ̀kan ojú tì ló jẹ́. Ṣùgbọ́n bí ẹni tó kọ ìwé yẹn bó ṣe kọ kò sí bọ́bọ̀ ṣe ṣorí tìǹà kí ó ṣorí. Apẹ̀tù gan ò ṣe tó nǹkan tí Olúwo ń ṣe. Because Olúwo ó dójú ti àpèrè tó wà. Tó bá lọ ka ìwé certificate tó ń fún culture ní àṣà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni náà ní kó máa gbé lárugẹ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni you are the custodian of heritage culture and tradition n tó wà ní certificate wọn nu.
And tradition.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
And mi ò rò pé bóyá nígbà tí wọ́n tó ń gbé adédè lórí kì í ṣe láwà nínáwó fún.
Pàápàá.
I mean all these kind of things nǹkan tí ò ń jẹ́ kínú wa dùn síjọba nígbà kọ̀ọ̀kan nìyẹn. Bí n pé 419 baba ńlá frosta lárákùnrin yìí so ó mọ géèmù yẹn play. Ó kọ́kọ́ ó lẹ̀ mọ́ APC.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
I'm very sure ó lẹ̀ mọ́ PDP náà gbà tí PDP wà bẹ̀. You see this kind of people they don't fit to live among us. Even if they will live among us, they're supposed to live in the prison yard. Because criminal lọkùnrin.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Famous criminal ni. Kò lè show certificate ṣe secondary school náà máa ń pè ní but mi ò rò kó lè show ẹ̀.
Èmi náà rò bẹ́ẹ̀.
Now you can read about that ọba Apetu pé associate professor ní University of Phoenix.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
I mean ṣé mọ̀.
Chartered accountant ní kó tó kó Nàìjíríà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Mo mọ̀ pé chartered accountant ni but educational acumen ni ẹni mi fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
But Olúwo nígbà tí bí ọmọlékéwú I mean it's so ridiculous. I will be very very happy if another rounds of clamoring pé kán remove ẹ̀ tó bá lè tó mú borí agbágbé. Ó ṣe rí nìyẹn o.
All right, that is good. Ó dàárọ̀ sir. God bless you.
Then nípa program tẹ́ ṣe lánàá.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Arákùnrin kan pè. Wàláì òun ló máa jèrè àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ máa jèrè iṣẹ́ tiẹ̀ náà.
Àmín o àmín o.
Ṣé rí ẹni bá fẹ́ ṣe gọ́vnà?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Bí ọba náà ni ọba ò lẹ́sìn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Run away from any aspirant tó bá ń parí tó bá gbé láwà ní òṣì kan borí àbí kó lóun prophet kan àbí pé pastor kan lò. Enough is enough of religion in Nigeria. Enough of religion in our land, Yorùbá land, ilẹ̀ Oòduà. Enough is enough. Mo ló gbé wa dé.
Kò gbé adébìyàn kan sà.
Nonsense.
Kò gbé adébìyàn kan. Ó dàárọ̀ sà. Yes sir. +2349151479599 àti +2349048519362. Bí a ti bá láǹfààní àti ìgbà pé méjì sí kí n tó máa lọ kí n tó rè sùn. Ẹ̀yin bàbá àti màmá mi náà fẹ́ lọ fi bẹ́ẹ̀kẹ́ lílẹ̀. Ọ̀la ni Sátidé kẹ́ jáyé yín dáadáa lọ́la kẹ́ sinmi dáadáa láti máa múra fún iṣẹ́ ọjọ́ Monday. Àánú Olódùmarè ò ní fi ń sílẹ̀ o. All right. Kí n má gbàgbé mo tẹ̀ tún ti ń gbàgbé lọ o. Ọ̀rọ̀ coaching class wa ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà labroad tí ẹ fẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ yín ọ tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ kán gbàgbé lé tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ kán máa rántí èdè àti àṣà Yorùbá ẹ fẹ́ kí wọ́n lè sọ Yorùbá ẹ fẹ́ kán dá àwọn nǹkan mọ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ fẹ́ kí wọ́n mọ̀ nípa àṣà wa ẹ fẹ́ kán mọ̀ nípa èdè wa ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n darapọ̀ mọ́ Awikonko online coaching class tí ìforúkọ ti ń lọ lọ́wọ́ báyìí lágbára Ọlọ́run ẹ fẹ́ bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ fẹ́ forúkọ ọmọ yín sílẹ̀ ìforúkọ ń lọ lọ́wọ́ lágbára Ọlọ́run ẹ fẹ́ forúkọ ọmọ yín sílẹ̀ já sọ̀rọ̀ lórí WhatsApp +234 234-904-851-9362 +234-904-851-9362. London lẹ́wà ní, America lẹ́wà ní, Germany lẹ́wà ní, Italy lẹ́wà ní, France lẹ́wà ní, Holland lẹ́wà ní, Ireland lẹ́wà ní, America lẹ́wà ní, Canada lẹ́wà ní. Ẹ jẹ́ àforúkọ ọmọ wa sílẹ̀ fún èdè àti àṣà Yorùbá. Kì í ṣe pé wọ́n fẹ́ lọ fi ṣe WAEC àbí wọ́n fẹ́ fi ṣe NECO àbí wọ́n fi ṣe JAMB, láti lè sọ, láti lè gbọ́, láti lè dámọ̀ àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n ń pè ní èdè àti àṣà ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjìrè náà ni. I love you all. Àánú Olódùmarè. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ lórí WhatsApp +234-904-851-9362 +234-904-851-9362. ẹ like ẹ follow page mi lórí Facebook Awikonko television, Awikonko television. ẹ rí i pé ẹ like ẹ dẹ̀ follow ẹ kó tó di pé jáde kúrò ń bẹ̀. Bákan náà ni kẹ́ subscribe sí YouTube channel mọ̀ ń bẹ̀ ni o ẹ bá ń subscribe sí YouTube channel yìí tó bá jẹ́ pé ẹ̀sẹ̀ wọ́ bẹ̀ for the first time yóò lè máa fún yín láǹfààní láti rí notification nígbàkigbà tí n bá fẹ́ ṣètò tàbí tí n bá fi fídíò síbẹ̀, yóò fún yín ní àmì pé ok Awikonko ti déta o, Awikonko fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀, Awikonko ti ń sọ̀rọ̀, Awikonko ń ṣètò, yóò fún yín lámì. Wọn dẹ̀ ní jáwọ́ yín, kò sí nǹkan tí ó máa yọ kúrò nínú owó yín. Tá à ń pè subscription ni pé kẹ́ lè ní notification. Tẹ́ bá ti tẹ subscribe button yóò gbé notification bell jáde lọ́wọ́ right yín, ẹ click lórí notification bell yẹn, kẹ́ wá click lórí all. Tẹ́ bá ti click lórí ẹ̀ tí n bá ti upload yóò fún yín ní sign pé mo ti upload fídíò àbí mo wà lórí live tí mo ń ṣe live irú èyí. So ẹ bá ń subscribe sí o. Bákan náà ẹ bá mi subscribe sí Onídèmọdè TV, Onídèmọdè TV. Ńbẹ̀ la ti ń ṣe Onídèmọdè game show, Onídèmọdè game show, eré ìdárayá ni tó kún fún èdè àti àṣà Yorùbá lọ́lọ́kan ọ̀jọ̀kan. Níbi tí ẹ̀bùn ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ọ̀ọ́dúnrún náírà ti wà ńlẹ̀ ní jíjẹ, 300,000 naira fún jíjẹ. Níbi tá a ti ń pè fún ìrànlọ́wọ́ àwọn tọ́lọ́wọ́ bá ṣẹ́gi ọlà fún tí wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ràn ìgbélárugẹ èdè àti àṣà Yorùbá tán fẹ́ kún wa lọ́wọ́ lórí ètò Onídèmọdè. Bóyá ẹ fẹ́ fún wa lẹ́bùn ká mọ̀ fáwọn èèyàn ni, bóyá ẹ fẹ́ fi kún owó tá à ń fi fáwọn èèyàn ni, bóyá lóṣooṣù lẹ́mọ̀ fún wa ò lẹ́mọ̀ bá wa dá sí, lẹ́mọ̀ ràn wá lọ́wọ́, bóyá lóṣù méjì ni, bóyá kọ́tà ni, bóyá ẹ dẹ̀ fẹ́ polówó ọjà yín lórí ètò Onídèmọdè ni, bóyá ẹ fẹ́ so nígbọ̀wọ́ Onídèmọdè, ẹ lágbára ẹ̀ Ọlọ́run fún yín lórí ọ̀fẹ́ láti ṣe fún ìgbélárugẹ èdè àti àṣà Yorùbá. Ẹ já sọ̀rọ̀ lórí WhatsApp bákan náà